In the previous Django tutorial, we added an app to our project. We also learned about HTTP requests and responses. In this tutorial, we will create examples focusing on URL routing. In the URL file, we set the home function to handle the empty path. You can add other paths to the list as well. These paths are what we call the URL routing. For example, let's add a path called category. When a request is made to the category path, the category function in the views file will be called. I will now add the category function to the views file. Remember to save your file after every change. When you save the file, the web server detects the changes and automatically restarts itself. This restart ensures that your changes take effect. Now I will send a request to the category path. The category function in the views file was successfully executed. Let's add another path named lesson. I will define a new function in the views file for the lesson path. Next, I will send a request to the lesson path. The lesson function was called successfully. If I send a request to the server without specifying a path, the home function will be executed. These path definitions are added in the main app's URLs file. In the previous lessons, we configured the project's URLs file. We specified that request without a path would be forwarded to the URLs file in the main app. But what happens if I type main instead of leaving the path empty? If I send a request with an empty path, I get a page not found error. This is because there is no function in the project currently handling the empty path. If I send a request to the main path, the home function is executed instead. But why does this happen? In the project's URLs file, we configured it so that requests to main are passed to the URL file in the main app. If I send a request to the category path, the program won't work. The same applies if I send a request to the lesson path. If you are unsure why this happens, feel free to ask in the comments. This means we can only access the paths explicitly defined in the app. Now I will send a request to main/category. The program throws an error, but we should be able to access this path. The issue here is that there is no slash after main. Just like with the admin path, we need to add a trailing slash. Let's test it again. The program works now. Let's test the lesson path as well. It's working as expected. Now let's go back to the beginning. I'll replace the main path with an empty path. I will test all the paths again. Everything is working perfectly. You can define multiple rows for a single path. Let's create an example. I will define a function called aboutTurtleCode in the views file. Let's test it. The application works perfectly. I recommend you watching next Django tutorial.